I guess before I was interrupted, I was trying to explore this idea that not everything that I want from this is like just this passionate for the art and for the glory of God. I suppose like I would like to make money. Like, I would like to become wealthy from this, and that's not just like out of like greed. Like I guess maybe it's always out of greed for people, but like I want to be able to do well for myself. I want to be secure financially. I want to be able to do good by my family members and help my folks out. I would like to, be able to make things to help other people out. Like, it's like the most effective way. I mean, I know it's not the money isn't the only way, but in my mind, the most effective way to be able to do that is by having a surplus of money. Like I could, it would help my parents so much. Like if I just had millions of dollars, it's like, hey, mom and dad, let me do this for you. Let me help set this up for you. And then all those ideas I've had for making things that could help people, and like I could do that. I would be able to do that. I could afford help or be able to pay people to do it. And I didn't express that too well, so maybe it didn't make any sense. But yeah, I like money. I could also then, like just use it to explore some other interests like architecture and interior design and like cars and whatnot, stuff that I'm kind of interested in but can't really afford to pursue because it's like, how am I gonna get the funds to? But like, it'd be expensive for me to redecorate my room that I live in right now. God forbid, taking an industrial space and turning it into like this perfect domain for me to like live and work out of. That just meets like every aesthetic desire that I could ever possibly have. It's just like an interest that I have. I don't really care for fame, but it's like to be able to do what I want to do in the capacity I want to do it, you would have to be famous. I want to, create something that is on par with like Star Wars. Like just like this mythology. I have an idea for this mythology that is on par with, like the likes of Star Wars or Avatar and that kind of thing. And there's a lot of potential for, different types of stories and that could be told. It's a really interesting idea. I'm not going to go into it here, but I think it has the potential to be something, but I don't really know how to make it into something. And then what I do know I could do, I'm not doing, which is a pretty consistent issue with me. But, back to why I want to be an actor. I'm saying that so I don't, get distracted. I mean, yeah, that's kind of it. Or not what I want from acting, that was the topic. Then there's the conversation of why I want to become an actor, which I should have probably switched these two around. Why I want to be an actor, and then what it is I actually want from it. And maybe this is part of holding myself accountable for this goal, because I kind of found myself questioning what I want from this, and if this isn't what I really want, then what's left for me in life? And if I don't know, then I'm back to where I was, for the last few years of my life. But why I want to be an actor, I've always wanted to create in some capacity. I just never really knew what. Looking back when I was 8 years old, I was enamored with Heath Ledger's performance in The Dark Knight. The way he played the Joker, I would like try to mimic it on road trips because it was just so amazing that someone could just act like it, just be like that, without actually being like that in real life. As a kid, I liked the idea of being an actor, but I would often tell myself, hey, that you're just saying that because it's cool. Because like kids always want to be like their favorite athletes or their favorite pop stars. And I thought like if an adult heard me say that, they would say, okay, be serious. You can't actually go do that. You just want to do that because you think it's a cool thing. At 16, I knew I wanted to create. I didn't know what. In middle school, I thought, I wanted to be like a graphic designer because I thought that would be, you get to make stuff, create ideas, and then like it's a real corporate job. Um, I guess like at 16, I kind of just sat and thought like, I don't actually care about that kind of thing. And that's not what I want to create. Because I knew that deep down, like creating would be something that I would have to love doing. Around that same time, I took up photography and taking pictures, and I love taking pictures. And it would have been awesome to be a photographer, but I didn't think it was realistic. So it remained a hobby. And then, after high school, I kind of just stopped doing it. At 18, I got a chance to be in a play. And, I'll talk about how that happened in a later episode. It was tough at first. That first rehearsal that we did, and we were just like auditioning, and they were just seeing what we were capable of, was tough. I made a fool of myself, but then some friends, we'll call them that, told me to just don't think, just go. And that's what they said. They said, don't think, just go. So I had an idea that, I'd quickly thrown together while watching other people perform. It was based off of the prompt and what I saw other people doing, and based off of, a performance that had been on my mind a lot at that time, which was, Michael B. Jordan's Killmonger from the Black Panther movie. And I came up with something, and I just did it. And maybe because like I'd been reenacting, the parts, like certain lines and aspects of Michael's performance in Black Panther, I guess I'd already probably rehearsed for it a bit, but it felt good. I liked doing that. And everyone was surprised by what I did. And I was surprised by what I did, because I said all these things and I didn't think about saying them, or I didn't write them down or plan to say them. It just kind of came out, and everybody was shocked, and I was shocked. I got the lead role. I performed at the Kauffman Center in front of, well, it could have been like 1,000 kids, maybe at least hundreds of kids from around the city, as a lead actor in a play performed in the Kauffman Center. And when I was up there, it was just, there was the situation, there was the circumstances, there was the script, there was whatever was in the script. Nothing was real but what was in the script. I didn't think about what I was doing or how I should do it. I just did it. I lived as that character whose name was Dre. I died as him. I didn't think about how I was doing the things that I did. I just did them. And in between the first and second showing, I kind of stopped to myself, like, this is it. This is that thing. I could do this for the rest of my life. That's what I said. I specifically said, man, I could really do this for the rest of my life. I wouldn't mind this being my life, being an actor on stages. And then I didn't pursue it because, going to UA, I thought, all right, that's unrealistic. I can't go to college to be an actor. How the hell am I going to get paid? Years later, that desire, that moment, it still persists. That feeling that I had in that moment, it still persists. Not even that moment from that experience. So I'm here now. This year, I'm working towards it slowly. It's not linear. The progress is not progressing. I could definitely be making progress faster, I think, just considering where I'm at. So I don't feel like my desire to be an actor is rooted in anything like shallow. I want to be an actor. I want to be good at acting. Yeah. I took that class and I enjoyed being in that class. I didn't like that it was only 2 hours. I also didn't like that like it wasn't like intense. This is just a lady who knows about acting, went to school for it, doing a class about it and getting paid for it. I want to do like real education. I really want that. I want to live and breathe it in that capacity. So I know my desire for it isn't shallow. This is a thing that I want for myself. And yeah, there's other things that I would like to get through it. And I guess like a primary thing that I want from it along from just being in this in living in this capacity that I felt like I had potential in, and that, you know, it's the only thing I've ever done that I feel like I should be doing, I could be doing for the rest of my life with my future. I do want to make money from it. Like, I wouldn't want to be, I don't like the idea of being an actor and then it's like I'm local. I, you know, act, but like in Kansas City productions. I wouldn't mind getting that experience, but I don't want to be capped there, you know? Just doing stuff like that and then doing short films. Or being like some of the people I've met who's like, oh yeah, I've been acting for 10 years. And then you're in an unpaid short film being made by a teenager. You're in your mid-30s. I hate that. I'm 26, so it's like it could be that. It could just be a thing that it could end up just being a hobby. I don't want it to be a hobby. I want it to be a life, and I don't want it to just be a life. I want it to be a prosperous one. So it's like looking at that desire, I find myself sometimes thinking like, damn, do I actually want this because I want it, or do I actually want it because it could be a shortcut to being rich, or a pathway to being rich. But then it's like I'm thinking about, you know, other things like this IT stuff, right? Like I wanted to get in tech because one, I've always thought tech was kind of cool, and then two, it's like people make good money in tech. You know, people make good money in nursing. I don't want to go to nursing school. If you work consistently enough with the job I have now, you can make decent money, but I don't want to do that. I hate that. I want to do something that I like and that I care about. I want to make lots of be prosperous in it. And I don't think that's like a shallow desire to have. I think that's real. Because you should want to do the things that you care about, and you should want to do well in, you know, that space that you, of that, whatever that thing is. You know, like it's guys who work in IT, you know, they have remote jobs and they're making like 100, like 6 figures. That's cool. Like I'm cool with that. You know. So that's why like I want to do IT. Like it's in a field that I have had a liking towards my entire life, and it pays quite well. And even like at the lower end of the spectrum, it pays pretty decently. So I don't feel like it's wrong to want to be an actor and then like want to get rich from that. Especially because like I don't just want to be an actor, because if that was the case, I just, you know, my mind would be set on like TV and being good enough to be on a TV show, and then hopefully getting in a movie and then being in big movies. I want to really learn how. I want to do theater first because I think like if you can function in that capacity as an actor, it's like you already have like a natural, you know, advantage. You're trained. You know, it's like you really do this. You don't just kind of do it. You know, it's like somebody who likes cars. So they buy a Camaro. And then somebody who really has a passion for vehicles. So they, you know, buy a car that they like, or they get that car that they like, and then they truly build it into their own thing because they truly have a passion for it. I guess I'll redo that analogy. It's like two people like cars, right? So one guy buys his dream car and he's happy. That's what he wanted. But the other guy, he really loves cars. He has a deep passion for cars. So he gets his dream car and then he builds it and he works on it all on his own, and he makes it into not just a vehicle, but it's just like he treats it like artwork. And he crafts it and he molds it into something for himself. And, you know, into something special. And purely something for him. think I'm that second guy. I don't just want to be an actor. I want to eat, sleep, and breathe this thing. I want to be amazing. I want to fully explore like every ounce of potential that I have in regards to this, and I want to surpass that. I want this. I want this. If I could snap my fingers and it's like I can move myself forward in this journey, but I had to stop shy of like that level of success. I couldn't. If I could skip forward in time in the timeline, of becoming an actor, and I was told, hey, you can't go into like this region where you're successful and you got all these things, I would quite happily choose being in a place that is near to here, but just a bit farther down the timeline where I'm in a conservatory and I'm able to do that without like struggling or having to worry about whether or not it was a good financial decision or whether or not I ruined my future. Like, that's what I want from acting, like right now. I don't want to be in the MCU right now. I don't think I'm good enough. I want to be rich off acting right now. I want to receive training. I want to receive like really, really good training at a place where I know like, yeah, this is of merit. Everything I'm learning here is genuinely worth it. Not like that class that I took at Red Light Casting. Not like what could potentially end up being that class at the actor training studio, although it would do me good because I don't have anything else. And it's like, I mean, the only reason I haven't done it yet is because like haven't had the money for it. But I guess I could call and do like a little sit-in thing, but it's kind of late in the day, so I could probably schedule it for tomorrow. But I really want to do this, and I think I should stop talking about it and go actually do research. So I'm gonna hang up. This is a 17-minute long video. Man, what the hell? Oh well. Yeah, so that's that. My why. My what. It's why I want to be an actor. It's what I want from it. And exploring whether or not those things are right. And I think they are. Because don't we all want those things? Like, everybody wants to function in their purpose and they want to prosper in that capacity too. Like, everyone wants to do that thing where it's like, yeah, I need to be here. I love doing this. I don't love taking care of old people. I can't think of any job that I love. I mean, most people can't. I don't want to just settle for doing a thing that pays me like my parents did. Like, my dad did that and then suddenly had the realization of what was going on, and then like just started throwing himself at like opportunities to be a preacher, even when it was inconvenient. My mother doesn't do that, and like when she speaks about like the things that she liked to do, like, she sounds miserable. She's got a book she's been trying to write since I was like for 10 years now. Actually, she's got a book she's been trying to write for 10 years. Not for 10 years, but like for a good minute. I mean, if I asked her the last time she worked on it, she'd probably say like last year or something. She had this idea for a ministry called Deborah's Alliance. Where did that go? I know she does this thing where like she will speak on something with absolute conviction, and then just it ends up coming into fruition. And I think maybe that's a form of prayer. And I think I do it too, but I do it negatively. Because it's like when I say I will become successful, I mean, I'll say it to myself because I want it to be true, but I'm saying it because I want it to, in hopes that it works. But it's like I don't say it with full-on conviction. When I say, oh my gosh, this isn't working, oh my gosh, I'm stuck, I'm saying those things with conviction because it's like I'm saying with pure frustration. I don't even have to think to say it, it just comes out. Because I believe it to be true, and I believe it to be absolute. And for the last few years, it seems like that's been the case. So how can I get myself to a place where I believe the things that I want to be absolute. I have to embody, I have to make it real. Because if I don't, I end up, like my dad who just started throwing himself at ministry. And right now, I don't think he is doing ministry. Outside of like a little random mission trips that he may go on, but he stopped with that church because it was a waste of time being there. My mother doesn't pursue the things that she's interested in because, oh, I gotta go take care of this, I gotta go take care of that. I'm like, yeah, you do, but like, what about everything else? What about what really matters? Because she's been saying that for years, and it's like it's the same stuff. It's like the same constants in her life. Like, yeah, this has to be clean, sure, and you feel me, like, she have to be taken care of. But it's like it's not impossible to make room for other things, especially when there's other people around. Like my dad figured out how to make space to do other things. And even though the way he goes about it isn't always in like the most constructive way or considerate way considering everybody else, you gotta make it real. And you have to make it real to yourself. Like I feel like God already made it real when he put this on my mind. And just off the fact that it was God who put this there, because it's always been there, lets me know that like, yeah, it's real. But this real thing is only as real to me as I make it. And if I just say, oh, doesn't matter, and then do nothing for the rest of my life, it just goes like that. I did that, and that's how it went for 8 years. 21 minutes now. So yeah, it's not, the desire isn't shallow, it's not foolish. It's real. And my ability to, make progress is only as real as I make it. You have to become that version of you. You have to do the things that they do. That's in the Bible. That's what, people who talk about neuroplasticity talk about. I am. Okay, I'm running out of stuff to say. And I probably have said way too much for this to even make sense, because this is 22 minutes long. It don't make no damn sense. Well, that's episode 1. Thank you.